Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Mind Over Money, a show where we talk about ways on how meditation, yoga, and behavioral science can help you become a more efficient and a better trader, investor, as well as a better human being. Well, my name is Shatajanand, and today we have with us a very special guest, Amar Ambani, who is a group president and head Institutional Equities at Securities, and also the host and the creator of the Ambani Angle. Welcome to the show, Amar.
Thank you, Satish. Thank you so much for having me on the show.
Thank you so much for being part of the segment, Amar. And this time we'll not be talking about markets, but we'll be talking about the other aspect of your life. You have decades of experience in capital markets. How do you keep yourself mentally fit and handle the market pressures?
Yeah, so this is a refreshing segment, a welcome change from the usual talk on markets. Satish, you've been covering markets for a long time. You know this business as well as anybody else. The burnout rate in our business is very, very high. And there are basically two aspects or two challenges that we have to manage on a day-to-day basis. One is, of course, the market itself and the volatility of the market. And the other thing is the intricacies of running a broking business, right? So these are essentially two things that are high pressure causing burnout. On volatility of the markets, what I do is I keep reminding myself and I keep telling others also. People call equity markets risky. I say markets are not risky, they are volatile. And I keep reminding myself they're volatile, they're not risky. I take it as a sense of or an opportunity whenever I see volatility rather than fret over it. So one thing that I do is, because it's volatile, I invest money in the market that I do not need for several years. I think if you do that, it just takes away that aspect that you need this money after 2 years, you need this money after 3 years. And basically, you should know what you own and you should own what you know. I think that is one mantra I work with. Having a background of research, this is something which is sacrosanct. There is no question about getting into something that you don't understand. And if you don't understand something, even after researching or reading a lot, simply avoid it. I mean, there are 5,000-6,000 stocks to choose from. It's okay to skip one. So I think if you put aside money that you don't need, if you research well, if you avoid the bad apples, and I usually buy stocks which have a high margin of safety. I think if all this is in place, then you don't really feel pressurized. In fact, if the stock market goes down, you know why you've bought something, and you might in fact look at it as an opportunity to add, and you will not feel pressured. So that's on the market, and that's how I handle the volatility of the market. The other part is running the broking business. On the business front, I always plan the night before. So I know, and I'm very, very clear what needs to be done the next day. Because the last thing you want to do is reach office not knowing what is the agenda for the day. A lot of people in corporate life tend to do, they react to things, they react to mails, they react to WhatsApp messages, and you think you had a busy day and the day is over. But you've not really moved mountains, you've not achieved what you ideally should have in that day. Right. And that is the biggest frustrating point for corporates, because they're not in control of their day, they're not in control of their time, and they perpetually find themselves firefighting all day. I consciously make a plan. I stay away from firefighting as long as I can help it. I can't wish it away, of course. Yeah. And I completely stay away from multitasking. I think having a good team, knowing what to delegate and what to do yourself is the key. And this is on market and business. The other things outside of this is, one is to stay mentally fit. I start my day at 5:45 or 6 in the morning. Gives me loads of time before the market starts, before the phone start ringing, before the emails come, to cut the noise around and focus on reading, focus on thinking. And I think a good 6 to 7 hours sleep is good enough rest. Try and keep it consistent. Any catch up obviously happens on weekends. And finally is the passion pursuits. I think you have to break free and give yourselves time. I of course watch very little TV. I have no games installed on my phone. But spending time with family, spending time with friends is a great stress buster. Right. I love to plan my weekends just like I plan my weekdays. Right. So I have a list of things to do the coming Saturday, the coming Sunday, I already know what I'm going to do. It's a leisurely plan. There could be some work, some reading to catch up on, but it's planned. I love travel, and I think the basics, you have to get it right. People have forgotten the good old need to be out there when the sun is rising, to the sun setting, to maybe observe the sea, go to mountain ranges. I think all of these basics will keep most people away from things like depression or stress or mental anxiety. And lastly, of course, is exercise.
Right. In fact, wonderful words, Amar. And in fact, I also, resonate with some of the things that you mentioned. It's good to be part of the nature and be with nature and live that moment. Very important for everyone. In fact, we also understand that you also do yoga and pranayama. Take us through your daily routine as well.
So yoga is an integral part of my well-being routine. I've been doing this for over a decade now, and I believe it's a holistic way. I mean, I don't really feel anybody needs to be told these days. There's a lot of awareness, but it is a holistic way of life, and it binds the mind, the soul, the body in harmony. I think this really is a practice that we've been blessed with. In fact, the West is adopting it. It's high time. If our own people are not doing it yet, they need to kind of start doing it. So I practice it with a guru. Therefore, the discipline, the time is maintained. You do the asanas right. I do it thrice a week with the guru. So it starts always with pranayam, and it's half an hour of pranayam. That is followed by asanas, which you can also call heart yoga in a sense. And sometimes it's cardio, where I will do a lot of reps of Surya Namaskars. And every session ends with a Brahmari pranayam, which is again great for brain functioning. The other days, it could be brisk walking, crunches, squats. I have a bar at home. It could be pull-ups, push-ups. Or again, I mean, depends on the mood. I may again just do some Surya Namaskar, because you can do 20 or 30 in a space of 5-10 minutes and you're done with for the day. So you feel some sense of exercise is done. So that's how I do it. I mean, it's still early day yet, but I have also started a bit of meditation.
Right. In fact, you did mention about the detox or the technology detox or mobile detox. How does that help you?
So, I mean, the benefits are known. I think people just don't do it or are unable to do it in this day and age. It's become a habit with people to constantly keep opening Facebook, WhatsApp, mails, keep constantly checking who has sent you something to react to it. So this information overload which is thrown to you, people just want to receive it 24 hours. And I consciously try and stay away from it. In fact, I check my mails only 3 times in a day. Sometimes maybe 4, but by and large, I mean, it's not a constant refresh. In fact, the sync is off. So it only syncs when I refresh. And this time, when your phone is kept away, you can actually think, relax, and not be distracted. I mean, even now that we are having this conversation, my phone is on flight mode, or at least on silent. And I think it's a great mental and emotional detox as well. I mean, in a lighter way, and I'm also joked around in my friend circles for being on flight mode. They say even when you're not on a plane, you're on flight mode. But if I tell them, I mean, even phones need to be recharged. Shouldn't be too.
Absolutely. And
so that's the detox that I do on the technology front.
Right. Wonderful words and very beautiful thought, Amar. And I hope that each and everyone get the courage and the inbuilt wisdom to carry on this detox. Yes, as you rightly pointed out, it's gonna be slightly tough for each and every one of us and whoever is watching the interview, but I'm sure it's not impossible. Also, tell me, you did mention that you just started with meditation. You also chant mantras. Any specific routine which helps you to sort of stay calm or focused?
So meditation is still a work in progress for me. I mean, I would say it's very early days. I actually wish I had started it much earlier in life.
Right.
But like they say that true knowledge actually comes from withdrawing from your surroundings and spending time with yourself. And I think that is the opportunity that meditation gives you. I have, in the interest of, or the lack of time rather, I've been doing it only for 3 or 5 minutes. and that too not daily. I do it
Yeah.
2 or 3 times in a day every week. But even that is wonderful. I can tell you the feeling is awesome. It takes away stress, just clears up my mind. You feel energetic even if you had less sleep. But if you've done this for 5 minutes, you just somehow the body feels energetic.
Right.
And I don't know, after maybe 1 or 2 minutes, I just make some mental notes and it just clears a lot of things for me. So I think meditation, work in progress, but even if people can do it 3 to 5 minutes, like I do even 2-3 times in a week, I think I'm sure their experience will be wonderful. On reciting mantras, I think it's a powerful tool. I think a lot of this knowledge in our culture is lost or not being practiced. And it's not only whether you believe in God or not. I mean, you could be an atheist. I think mantras are for everybody. It is not really only religious or something like that. I mean, it's established. Even recently, I was reading, there was some study done and there was a result out. It's established that there is a vibration reverberating across the cosmos. And energy around us in every form. In the human body, in atoms, in everything, and it is going on in circular motion. So what basically our mantras do, they're different, so many of them.
Right.
It's a way to energize our system and create that harmonious balance with the universe. I mean, in whatever little way. I know maybe I'm really going very spiritual or very, but I think, I mean, just start it for the heck of it. And slowly, gradually, you'll realize how it just calms you down. It makes you a better person, like you said at the start of the segment. It'll just lift your spiritual journey, I would say. So this again is something that I do on weekends, mostly Saturday. And on some auspicious days is when I practice. This is not a daily thing, but weekends and auspicious days.
Right. In fact, you did mention that you plan your day ahead well in advance. So what is usually on your to-do list?
Lots actually. So, Vipassana is on my to-do list. It's something that has been actually on my to-do list for some time now, but haven't really found it because I think it will require about 5 or 7 days of spare time to do this. And what typically happens is anytime you have a 5 to 7 day or a 10-day window, it's automatically a family holiday. So for those reasons, and Vipassana is a very individual thing. So it's not been done so far, but that's something on my to-do list. Practicing Maun Rat, even if it is just for a day, Maun Rat or that vow of silence, not talking for a day, something is on my to-do list. And lots of holiday destinations. I mean, I've traveled to places that I can say I've been fortunate to go and which are not your typical tourist destinations. I've been to lots of them and lots of them are on my to-do list.
Okay. Right. And, lastly, why is being mentally fit important, especially for someone who's actively involved in capital markets?
So, I mean, just like a runner needs to be physically fit.
Right.
It's not just that you turn up on race day and start running. He needs to be or she needs to be physical fit and practice. A cricketer has to practice his skill in the nets. I think similarly, I mean, mindful work necessitates building mental capacity. And only if you build that mental capacity is when you'll be able to really do things to its fullest. So I think any combination of yoga, meditation, mantras like I spoke about, all of these support your cognitive processes. So, I mean, we can't, this cannot be something that is in isolation. We are only doing one thing, physical exercise, maybe going to the gym, but not doing the other. I think mental health, physical health, emotional health, spiritual health, I think they're all interlinked. So this is something that is a must and it will help build your mental capacity. So physical and psychological fitness kind of go hand in hand, and therefore I think is something worth taking up.
Right. Well, on that positive note, thank you so much for your time, Amar. And that's all for now. But do stay logged on to etmarkets.com for more on news, business, and economy. Again, thank you so much for your time, sir.
Thank you, Satish. Thank you once again.